But Damika, you've stayed through us through thick and thin, and you've graduated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have some helpers tonight because I can't do this meeting all by myself, although sometimes I have. So let's welcome Pierre to tell us about the timing.
Good evening, fellow Phonic Fury Toastmasters. Good evening, Speechcraft participants. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster. I will be giving I will be timing all of our speeches, our table topics, our prepared speeches, and our evaluations. For our Speechcraft speeches, you will see, you'll have 3 to 5 minutes. You'll see the green at 3, you'll see the yellow at 4, you'll see the red at 5, and then you'll have 30 seconds on either side of the signals. For our for our table topics, you'll get the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1 minute 30, and the red at 2 minutes. Again, 30-second grace period either side. For speaker 3 of the prepared speeches, Daryl, I saw in your email that it's 6 to 8 minutes. For speaker 1, Benjamin, and speaker 2, Jack, I'd like to know what are your time limits?
Benjamin is 5 to 7.
5
And
to
I
7.
don't know Jack.
Jack is not on board yet.
Oh, okay. TBA 6 to 8. Okay, thank you so much. For our evaluations, for the main evaluations, you'll get at 3 minutes. At green at 2, yellow at 2:30, and red at 3 minutes. For the general evaluators report, green at 3, yellow at 4, and red at 5 minutes. And of course, 30-second grace period on either side. That will be my role this evening. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster.
Appreciate that, Pierre. Thank you very much. Danica, you're our odd counter tonight. What will you be doing?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, for today. Good evening, everyone. My role as the counter is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive words you may use when you are speaking. So I'll be observing and taking notes of words such as like. So, but these are like filler words that affect the effectiveness of your speech. So I'll present my report at the end of when it's called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you very much. And of course, our vote counter is Daryl. If you're online, send your vote via chat to Daryl. If you're in the room here, someone will come and pick up your ballot. Just for those online, who we have in the room is Daryl, Benjamin, Jeremiah, Musa, Dan, Marianne, Bond, and myself. Now, this next person, do we have a jester tonight? Does anyone have a jest they want to share? You don't have. I had a whole stack of some.
Oh, you're smiling too much now.
But I left them at home. Oh, yeah.
Neither did I. It didn't stop me.
Must be appropriate. Okay, we'll forego the jest right now unless someone comes up with one. And we'll call on the person that's doing double duty tonight. He is our grammarian, and he'll explain his role in the word of the day. But also he is our table topics master. So let's give a big welcome to our pirate, our magician, our you name it, he's it. Yeah. Let's give a big welcome to Daniel. Take it away.
I will start off by being the grammarian tonight and tell you that my job is to listen to your use of the English language, be it good or bad, and to make notes and be called upon, or no, make notes and give my report when called upon at the end of the meeting. Also, I come up with the word of the day, and being that we're in graduation, I picked success, as in, to be successful I really don't think you need to have the whole dictionary thing on the bottom. You know what success is, or maybe you don't. So we will find out tonight, won't we? And then I'm going to call on the table topics person to come on up, which would be Dan. So tonight I will be doing your table topics on the subject of graduation, which can be loads of fun, loads of stress. As Becky said, I really don't remember much about when I was supposed to have graduated in 1979 because I didn't. So kind of took away a lot of the fun. Considering that Anaheim High School was having its graduation at the Anaheim Convention Center, that would have been nice to actually been able to go there for free once. Apparently I had to pay a better price, like learning. I did, however, graduate high school 18 years later. It was almost like, yeah, let's just start over life here and go through all the 12 grades and all that wonderful stuff again. And I graduated from Ramona High School in 97. The really cool part is on my class ring, it's got 79, or we can turn it the other way, 97. So same class ring works for either one. I had other graduations, but right now I want to find out more about other people's graduations. So my first question was, did you graduate with your high school class when you were supposed to? And what do you remember from it? Benjamin. Somebody who could remember.
Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master. Graduating high school. Yes, indeed, I graduated with my class. It was a success. What do I remember from that most? Just, I was finally done with it. I did not enjoy high school the way the movies suggested that you should enjoy high school. It was just a thing I was forced to do. But I got through it, and I walked and had my little cap and gown, and glad I did it, I guess. I had a friend once say it's a celebration of mediocrity, and that has stuck with me ever since. And he was right. He was absolutely right. You get to a minimum level and there's big celebrations, there's balloons, there's food and parties, but it's still a minimum level. And in this day and age, I really don't think that's an adequate minimum level any longer. With that in mind, 2 weeks ago, my son graduated high school. And I went to it and I could not have been more proud. See the little guy walking with his cap and gown. We had a few minutes where there was a little bit of fear that we'd make it to that moment, but he finished off in fantastic fashion. I'm proud of him. More than that, I'm glad I will never have to go to another high school graduation again. Those are not pleasant for me. I don't like them. I wasn't a fan of my own. I haven't really liked anybody else's. There's so much yelling and screaming and cheering and annoyingness. I don't know what else to say, but I am proud of all of the kids. And to be honest, I did get a little bit choked up when the principal recognized all of the students by saying that they were now certified to meet this requirement for the state of California. That certification meant more to me than I think all of the other graduating issues I've ever gone through myself. Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master.
Thank you. The next person that I would like to hear from, I am sure has had as many graduations as I've had, if not more. But what I was going to ask is, I have seen literally caps and gowns for people graduating kindergarten. So Pierre, when was the first time you wore a cap and gown for graduation?
Thank you so much, Mr. Table Topics Master. I have started my own time. I have seen pictures of my own kindergarten graduation. My kindergarten in the Philippines was an institution called CDCC, Child Development and Care Center. It has apparently since then had a new name, and it has gone from being, I forget how many pesos, just working out to a few $100s, to now being tens of thousands of dollars just for the kindergarten through 5th, 6th grade level. It's kind of incredible. It was a very good institution when I came to the United States. In kindergarten, they had already started covering addition and subtraction and even a bit of multiplication, if you can imagine that in kindergarten. But there were, what would you say? There were graduations for that school. And there is a picture of me in a white cap and gown. And the one thing I remember about the experience of having gotten my pictures taken for it is that we had to wear lipstick for the boys and lipstick for the girls. And I had only seen my mother wear lipstick and none of my uncles. My dad was already living in the United States at the time, so I hadn't really seen him on a day-to-day basis until we moved here, much less seen him wear makeup. But I do remember having to wear lipstick for my kindergarten graduation pictures. I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much, Mr. Table Talks Master.
I now have a whole new vision of you. I would like to know, what kind of celebration did you do for your graduation? Bond.
Interesting question. Mr. Tabletop Master, that brings me a lot of memories. Some of them were beautiful, memorable. Some of them were silly, for sure, right? I remember the university graduation. So we start to get weird, right? Let's say in the best time and best month, best status, and people got a lot of weird stuff. We didn't care about success. I didn't care about the better than others. We just care right in the moment. I remember those days we had a party almost every night. The girls, boys together, sometimes only the boys drink all the time. Now look back, the moment we saw that as huge success and one chapter of the life closed and heading into another chapter, maybe where we face the issue like success, that will bring some pressure. So we just enjoy that moment and let the future, whatever challenge come later on. There's lots of party. And now look back, sometimes when those the roommates and the college friends together, we still talk about those moments. But now look back, I keep seeing that. I just feel silly, it's stupid. This just a drink all the time for what? And get headache next morning, hungover for the whole day. I just know, I don't know why there's some stage of life, I not want to expand a little bit. That right in the moment, you feel you are the king of the world, but now you look back, it's just so stupid. I want to see that. That is my university graduation, what I remember. Drink for a few weeks and broke a lot of bottles, a lot of fights, of course, mostly verbally, not really violent. But now look back, my feeling is it's stupid. Thank you.
Thank you. I definitely graduated in the wrong country. We did not have near that much drinking. Well, yeah, never mind. At West Point in Annapolis, when they finally announced that all of the cadets have finally graduated, they all throw their caps up into the air, which I keep thinking, those are darn expensive things. How did they ever get them back? So what I want to know is, Damika, were there any traditions where you graduated from?
Would you be able to repeat the question?
Or traditions, like things that your graduating class always did? Like tossing, drinking?
Yes, of course. In my country, the education system is a little bit different. So you will not graduate when you pass the high school, and you have to go universities or you have to complete your professional educations. So I didn't go to university, but I will be having my graduation on my professional qualification, and I am having my MBA graduation in 2-3 months time. So I'm a little bit excited to celebrate that graduation, because I am with the family now. I have a kid, so I want to see go along with them to the celebrations. And I have a lot of friends also, so they are also waiting to celebrate these occasions. So we'll be having a little bit of a party to celebrate this in my country as well, with my family as well as with my friends. So there will be a bit of celebrations. Basically, there will be traditional stuff as well, like from my mother. She used to put some sort of traditional sweets in our country, so we have to serve them to our close relatives. So those kind of traditional things, as well as with friends, you will have some celebrations like having beer and those sort of things. So that will be the celebrations I'll be going to have in a few months' time. Back to you.
Thank you very much. One of the last questions that I have is, when I graduated from college, I was graduating with 5 degrees, which I thought was absolutely awesome, till the president of the college announced that they have one person here who's graduating with 6 degrees. And I was like, shot down in the last moments. But on my hat, because everybody liked to write something on their cap, I did put 5 degrees of separation. Kind of stole that from the movie, although I think that was 7 degrees of separation, but I figured 5 was separating me from the school. So what I want to know is, did you write anything on your hat, your cap, or did you not, and why? Jeremiah.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. But the truth is I did not. And it's kind of a long story. So I did not graduate with my class. When I turned 18, I decided to go to adult school and finish out my high school, hopefully early. Turns out that when I went there, I already had enough credits to graduate. So by the time just me walking through the door, I had already graduated when I turned 18, and I was off to bigger and better things, like working at a gas station, which in hindsight, I kind of regret. But for my kids, I have written stuff on their hats, and they graduated kindergarten. And actually, my youngest graduated preschool last year. And yes, they do have graduation ceremonies for preschoolers. Most of the notes that we wrote on their hats was something to the effect of, "Mom and Dad love you, great job." And we have cap and gowns for both of our boys for preschool and kindergarten. And my wife this year was upset because my youngest son who graduated kindergarten didn't have a ceremony this year, but my older son got a ceremony. I don't know why they did that, but much like my brother, I was happy that they did. And I will save the next graduation ceremony for when they graduate high school. Thank you, Mr. James Thomas.
I think the one graduation that I did remember from even before, I am learning to talk all over again. from before high school. I graduated junior high back in Anaheim when junior high was a 3-year school, junior high was a 3 and high school was a 3, not this 4 and 2 thing. So we're all 9th graders. We're graduating junior high in 1996. The school I was at was Sycamore, and we were the Buccaneers. You can tell where I got my fascination for pirates from. But our school colors were red, black, and white. And I look back now, we finally found some of the pictures after my parents died. I got this big, huge box of pictures. And we've been going through them slowly but surely. And I found the pictures from my junior high graduation. And I was thinking, school colors were black, white, and red. Yet every guy in the picture is wearing a powder blue jacket, powder blue pants, and all the girls are in this like powder blue dresses. And I'm thinking, what happened? It's like, oh yeah, disco. And with that, I will call up call on everybody I'll call on our timer to give us a timer's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Benjamin spoke for 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I spoke for, by my own count here, I had 2 minutes, 8 seconds. I'm not sure what Daryl got. Bond spoke for 2 minutes, 9 seconds. Dalmica spoke for 1 minute, 35 seconds. And Jeremiah spoke for 1 minute, 28 seconds. And everyone made it in the time limits. Back to you.
Okay, great. Now, if everybody would please write down who they thought did the best and send those off to Daryl. Those online, email them to Daryl only, not to the whole group. And with that, I will return the conduct of our meeting back to Becky.
All right, good job, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Good questions. Now that you mention it, I do remember graduating from junior high.
No cap and gowns, just suits.
No cap and gowns, but it was fun. I wore a paper dress. And I was so worried somebody would spill something on me and it would dissolve. It was a fad back then. You had to be there. Now we come to our speaking portion, and unfortunately, none of our speech crafters are here. Ooh, that would be nice. I always enjoy hearing the speech crafters.
Jack is not here either.
No, I noticed. So we have 2 speakers tonight, Benjamin and Daryl. Both will have success with their speeches, I'm sure. All right, our first speaker is Benjamin. He's been a Toastmaster for about 9 months. He lives in Riverside with his wife, 2 children, and a cat. I bet that cat's crazy. His speech tonight is level 4 in the dynamic leadership pathway. Good job. You're just trucking right along there. It's 5 to 7 minutes, Mr. Timer, and is titled Social Media Magic Bullet or Poison Pill. Interesting. Let's welcome Benjamin.
Thank you, Madam Professor. Welcome, Toastmasters. And Damica as the only speechcrafter left. There's about 4.9 billion social media users on this planet right now. And on average, they all have about between 6 and 7 platforms that they use. I personally have a Facebook that I don't use, 2 Twitters I don't use, 2 Instagrams I've never used, a blog that I did maintain for a long time, but don't anymore. I've got a Reddit, LinkedIn, Discord, a Medium, and my favorite, Goodreads. Although I don't read fast enough to keep up with that one. I was building a platform for a stretch using Twitter, and I had almost 1,000 followers, which was a lot for me. I stayed focused, I stayed on task, I worked on my brand. Unfortunately, opinions started filtering in, and they made the experience unfun. And so I quit. Now the platform is just poisonous. But social media is a viable marketing tool. And there's more than enough success stories to keep people going back to it. To which I say, good luck. See, social media promises cheap, global, and adaptable marketing. But cheap, global, and adaptable comes with a price. It's basically a time suck where you have to devote the majority of your time to social media. In general, I categorized all the platforms in 3 typical types. There's the short form platforms like Twitter and Instagram, where people with very small attention spans scroll through hundreds or thousands of posts a day. You can post your elevator pitches, and it's a great platform for that. You can also use hashtags to really narrow in on your target audience, but it's still a very broad fishing expedition. Then there's medium form platforms like Facebook. You can post a little bit more, you can share some pictures, but it's still not really yours. There's a lot of advertisements and a lot of distractions. Then there's the long form social media platforms like a blog or a website. Here you can really dial in your message. You can tailor it to say exactly what you want, and you can use as much space as you feel you need to. There is the added benefit of driving a decision by people you want money from. You can have a buy button, or you can have a contact us field. It's the last section before actually making a sale. Now, anybody who's been in sales can recognize this as the sales funnel. At the top, there's the short form, a broadcasting view of trying to get your message out, trying to get recognized. Medium form drives a little more interest, and the long form really does narrow down people's decision-making. But there's a lot of work to it too. I heard at one point, you're supposed to post on Twitter or Instagram 5 times a day, twice a day on Facebook, and at minimum, 1 blog post a week. That is a ton of content. That's almost too much to actually produce. And then here comes the poison pill. Trying to keep up with a regimen like that, people become obsessed with social media. Trying to say something clever 5 times a day becomes work. And it can become counterproductive. It's like the gold rush miners buying into getting rich quick. It turned out to be a lot of hard work, very little money, and you get eaten by bears. It's a daunting challenge to keep up with that much material. And all of this can unravel with one misconstrued message on a trash platform by somebody with low self-esteem and nothing better to feel in life. I've got writer friends trying to build platforms through their social media, and they're having a very difficult time because on top of writing actual novels, they can't find time for a single tweet. 240 characters is too much for them. The downside of the poison pill of social media comes with insomnia, anxiety, and depression. There's a lot to tie your hopes on when you're trying to get rich quick with social media. But it's still a viable tool. And so to avoid these detriments, number 1, don't fight with people on the internet. You're not going to win. Number 2, follow like-minded people. Find people you want to listen to. There's a lot of good out there too. Share your expertise. Everybody wants to know a little bit more about something, and if you have the background, share it. Above all, stay positive. The more positive you stay on the internet, the more positive your entire experience will be. It's your business. Treat it like your business. Every interaction on the internet is a potential customer. And with time, you can rise above the saturated landscape to really make a name for yourself. You can sell your brand and you can drive more business to your endeavors. Madam Toastmaster.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'm getting there. Just takes a little bit to get moving. Good job.
Thank you.
And I thought just keeping up with Facebook was a lot of time. Wow. Twitter, Instagram, whatever else you said, I just couldn't imagine it would drive me to drink more.
Full-time job.
Yeah, it is a full-time job. Do we
Pierre's
have,
got a question.
yes, Pierre?
Hi, point of order, Madam Toastmaster. I am Daryl's evaluator. Can I have someone to man the timing and the lights just for this particular speech? And I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're gonna have to change that now.
Okay, are we gonna change it?
It's up to you. Ask Pierre if he wants to.
Pierre, would you rather not evaluate and just stay timer?
And Bob,
I guess I can do that. I can also I just need someone to time while
We could have
it's
Bond
hard for me to time, and I'm
I
sorry.
know, yeah. Let's have Bond evaluate because
Okay.
he didn't have a major job.
Okay.
All right, and that way you can concentrate on the timing. You're doing a good
Thank
job.
you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Our next speaker, his time is 6 to 8 minutes. His title is Knock Knock. Interesting. His project is to inspire his audience. It's a level 3 elective, persuasive influence path. He's achieved 2 DTMs. He's a qualified speaker. He was District Toastmaster of the Year once or twice, and he received a presidential citation. Let's give a big welcome to Knock Knock, Daryl Zeller.
What do you do when opportunity comes knocking? Suddenly, you make a decision. You either decide to say, hey, welcome opportunity, or you decide to ignore it. Well, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and Speechcrafter, we all made a decision to welcome opportunity when we decided to join a Toastmasters Club or the Speechcraft, because we thought that this would give us an opportunity to improve our speaking skills. Most of us thought it was strictly for communication. At least I did. We had no idea that it would help us develop our leadership ability also. Now, on your leadership, the first time that you got any work on developing your skills on leadership was the very first time they asked you in the club to be an odd counter, a grammarian, a timer, an evaluator. Why? Because each of those functions requires you to do active listening and provide some feedback. Wow. Listening and evaluation are essential parts of being a leader. But it wasn't just that. What about when they said, we need you to be an officer of the club? Whether it's president, vice president of education, secretary, treasurer, membership, public relations, sergeant at arms, each one of those provides you an opportunity to develop certain leadership skills. And let's face it, working with the club is great. But the club is just a stepping stone. Because when you go outside of the club, you find out there's a wealth of opportunities through the Toastmasters program. You work in the area director, but maybe you can be an assistant area director. Our area director for next term is going to be Pierre. And I'm quite sure that Pierre would be very happy to have people assist him. That's something we can work on. You can go to the division level, be a division director. And we're helping the division some way or another, whether it's on a committee or however. And then you can go to the district level. Now let's face it, the division directors and the top 3 at the district are elected positions. The election was done a couple of weeks ago, but there are other positions that are available at the district level. Public relations manager, Freeman. Vice president of education in the club. Administrative manager, secretary in the club. Financial manager, treasurer, logistics manager, club sergeant at arms. Each one of those, you're developing those skills a little bit more. But not only that, you can work with the different committees. There are many different committees that we have, especially at district level. They can always be at the area or the division level. You can serve on these committees, either as a member or as the chair. And then when you do that, you get to work with the people in other clubs, other Toastmasters, and you get to work with the district officers, the elected, the directors, the managers, the officers, expanding your horizon, working on increasing your level of influence. And ladies and gentlemen, this is all helping us to develop our community, our leadership skills. Now, one of the things we look at is on the area level, especially, is speech contests. You say, well, boy, I'm going to be a contestant in a speech contest. That means I'm working on my communication skills. But wait a minute. You're showing that you were willing to step out and represent the club, doing the best job that you can so your club can be proud. That's leadership. Or you can go ahead and volunteer to be the Toastmaster of the event. Be a timer, be a counter, be a judge. Each one of those helps you to develop and refine the skills that you already have started working on at the club. And actually, you can just be a member of the audience. And if you're a member of the audience, what are you doing? Are you being a leader? Heck yes, because you are showing the membership that you are there to support the contestants. And you're also providing them feedback by how you are responding to their presentations. As long as they can see you, and it's not one of these virtual ones where everybody's blocked out. But it is something that your facial expressions do help to support the contestants. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I said there's a wealth of opportunities out there. And literally, it doesn't make too much difference if we fail or if we succeed. If we fail, you are going to fall flat on your face because you have stepped forward and you are falling on your face. So you're coming forward instead of stepping back. You are learning, you are getting some benefit. And let's face it, you may fail, but you still get recognition. I'm a great example of that. I've been an area governor or area director about 4 or 5 times. I don't know how many times. I've been a division director or division governor. I've been a district governor. And every time I filled one of those offices, we didn't achieve distinguished. Does that mean I was a total failure? If I'm a total failure, why was I selected as the district Toastmaster of the Year, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Why did I receive a presidential citation from the president of Toastmasters International? Simply because I persevered. When opportunity came knocking, I said, yes, I will do what I can. So in conclusion, I really encourage each and every one of you, when you hear that, say, opportunity, I'm here, take me. But sometimes opportunity comes, you can't hear it. So then I say, go out and seek it. Look for the opportunity, because you are going to get rewards that you cannot imagine. So ladies and gentlemen, come on in, opportunity, Madam Toastmaster.
I'm voting, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Pierre, can we have a timer's report? Good job.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Benjamin's speech was 6 minutes, 26 seconds, and Daryl's speech was 7 minutes, 48 seconds. Both are within time. Back to you.
All right, please vote for best speaker. Now we come to the evaluation portion, and this is where we learn a lot on how to improve your speech. Our general evaluator this evening is the grandma of our club. She is a grandma, great grandma, a great card player, and an animal lover par excellence. Let's give a big welcome to Mary Ann Zeller.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. This is part of the evening that we have our evaluation of how well our meeting went. But first off, we have feedback to our speakers. Both speeches were absolutely excellent. And our first evaluator is a gentleman that I admire. He does great speeches. He is fun to listen to. Please help me welcome Musa to evaluate Benjamin's speech.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Benjamin. I can swear Benjamin joined us only 9 months ago, but still the progress he showed is totally, I told him last week, totally impressive. The first time, maybe a little bit nervousness, but now he's a comfortable speaker. He could run the whole show. I'm very happy with this speech, because this speech talks about what is in general people know about it. So the audience is very much aware of this, but having your statistics, having your examples, having yours, it makes it more sensible now. I like this speech very much because you are prepared. Prepared means you have numbers. You told us 3 kind of medium, short, medium, and a long one. In general, sales funnel, you have everything we wanted to know. Then we start talking about and listening to you, he came up to what is the poison portion of this BTS, the whole part of it, how people are obsessed, and the ton of information out there, what do you do with it? That actually make me wonder. I said, really, I don't like social media myself. I'm the IT guy. I do not like social media because in general, it's all maybe 80–90% of it is just crap, in my opinion. Sorry, my French. But really, this is a good speech because you could assemble it to become even better speech. At the end, what is the action? Don't fight with anybody on the internet. You're going to be fighting all your life if you start talking back to people because nothing will stop. Share your experience. It's a perfect way. I am a doctor. What about if I give some hints to the people? I am a technician. What about if I say that? Sharing is also very important. stay positive trait. So let's talk about the speech. The speech with vocal variety and gesture was perfect. What I would have liked, maybe a little bit more to improve it, the pace was a little faster to me. I know you were reading, but if you stay and say, social media is bad, and you stay there for a while, it will sink in. People say, okay, tell me why is it bad, okay? But since the organization is good and you have the material to tell us, that pace could have improved it. This speech is a lesson for everybody. This speech is how you at least improve your life by not involving with any unnecessary things. Yeah, we could do Twitter, but what's the use of it? But at the end, you said, because you can market yourself well, and at least you could do your business. There is a way to do it, but not the opposite way. And I'm very happy to hear this speech, and you could organize it a little bit more. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Zach.
I wanted to speak more, but very fast.
I know it goes fast, isn't it? Our next evaluator for Dale's speech is a gentleman also that I admire and know, and he's come a long ways in the club. And he's been with us only a couple of years. Please help me welcome Bond.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. This sound is still resonant in my mind, and I'm sure among all other audience for now. Your speech is full of positivity, full of energy. And you just stand here, you already give us all the message. Look at Daryl today. He dressed up. A nice badge over there. I was asking him when I got here. You can call him old school, but this is something we more or less lost, and we should get that back. Not lock. Whenever we see some opportunity, we see something valuable, grab it, keep it. This is the message you sent to us in your speech. Great starting by giving this sound and telling us Toastmaster is not only about giving speeches, it's about leadership, taking those tiny minor roles. It's not about helping. This is a journey that you cannot miss to grow and to hone your skills. This is the beauty of in-person meeting. I see a lot of body languages today, which we couldn't get that at all if we are sitting in the Zoom meeting. And for me, myself, I personally relate to a lot of messages in this speech because growing my experience, my journey over the last few years, I joined the club meetings and took some of the leadership roles. I really relate to some message. When the opportunity knocks your door, go get it, grab it, and you will see the growth. Through that speech, I just want, from my personal perspective, I want to hear more stories about yourself. I noticed almost about 5 minutes, you start talking about yourself. But you have a lot of journey or experience about Toastmasters. You have more than enough about stories. Tell us, not when the opportunity knocks the door, you grab it, took on all those leadership positions and get recognized. But beyond recognition, I want to maybe stretch a little bit to tell us, not only being recognized, you helped so many people, so many clubs. That's not recognition. That's about giving out, making the community better. So I want to see how you help some individual clubs, a specific story, a specific person, a fellow member that you have helped. But although overall, this speech is persuasive, relevant, full of energy, And you give a great example just by standing here. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Bob. Now, I'll give them report for the evening. Our meeting started on time, which I tried to make it start on time, but I don't always do it. Our EVP introduced our Toastmaster Becky. Didn't give too much of an introduction because he said he gave more last week, but of course, I think Monday night maybe too, I don't know. And then our Toastmaster had each one describe what their jobs are, which I think is great because this way, if we have a new person, we know what's going on in the meeting. A nice introduction of Daniel on table topics master. The table topics were very good because she picked on different subjects on the school. Benjamin, did he graduate with his class? He said, and he says, not really. I was just happy to get through and not be there. But he said he was proud of his son because he did graduate. I thought that was kind of nice. Pierre, when he wore a cap and gown, he wore a white cap and gown when he was in the Philippines in kindergarten. He also wore lipstick, which was comical because we don't usually do that, but that was neat. And Bond, how he celebrated memories that were beautiful, party every night, drank too much. Again, that was comical and cute. And oh my God, traditions. He celebrates with family and friends. And that's how we did it too, as family and friends. And Jeremiah, did he write on his graduation cap and gown? No, he did not. But he did it for his little ones in kindergarten. I think that was great. I love it when you bring in the family because to me that makes it more personal. And all the topics were great and I enjoyed them. All right, and our evaluators this evening. Now this is where I'm not very good at because Musa, you okay, I'm gonna get this here. Okay, Musa on Benjamin's speech, he gave a lot of positive feedback to you, and he said that you built a lot of confidence and that you have really grown in such a short time that you've been here. And you really have. I mean, I've never seen somebody come up and do speeches and do everything else and be so professional. Musa gave you a lot of positive feedback, but he also suggested that maybe, I'm not sure how he did at the end about the material on his, what was it? It was on his material he was talking about, because I'm not into computers and all that stuff. So I kind of got lost there. But otherwise, though, Musa, you did a good job on evaluating Benjamin, because like I said, I am really messing up here on this one. And Von, of course, you gave Dale a lot of positive feedback. You said he has a lot of energy and that we should go back to the old school. That was that we need to do, and to tell us how he helped other clubs and people. Because Dale's been in Toastmasters a long, long time. So yeah, he's done a lot of things when it comes to Toastmasters and helping others in the clubs. But all in all, like I said, I'm bad on this. Both Musa and Von, you both gave him ideas on what to do better, and you gave him feedback on it. And you also were very positive on the speeches. And I love both speeches, I really did. And with that, I am going to call on the counter.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. There were not much of the speeches today, and I didn't hear like unnecessary words during their speeches. And they didn't use repetitive words also during their speeches. So all of them did a perfect job. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. And now we're going to have the grammarian's report. Daniel. You are set on you. table topics.
Oh, good. You got that in just in time.
Yes.
As far as the grammarian use of the word today, Benjamin used it twice, Jeremiah once. Bond was going for the gold medal with 3 times. Daryl used it, Becky, I think, used it, and Marianne just used it, and I didn't. As far as messing up the English language, I think I have that covered personally by me tonight, more than enough for everybody else.
Thank you, Danny. I thought we had a great meeting. Please tell me, welcome back, our president.
Point of order.
Oops.
Do we have the time?
All the times you put with that. Evaluators, yes. Mr. Ann.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Our evaluations tonight, Musa's evaluation was 3 minutes, 22 seconds. Bond's was 3 minutes, 16 seconds. And yours, Marianne, was 3 minutes, 46 seconds. Everyone qualifies. Thank you.
Thank you, Pierre. Thank you. Now I'll return contact back to Becky,
All
our
right,
Toastmasters.
thank you. Please vote for best evaluator. That's one vote we don't have. As I move around, here we go. Thank you. Great meeting tonight. Good table topics, very interesting speeches, and the evaluations just get better and better and better. And that's exciting. So far, I do have a couple winners. Best table topics winner is Pierre. Congratulations, Pierre.
That lipstick came in handy.
It was a lipstick that did it. Yeah, we know.
Smart, doing bright, right?
And our best speaker was Daryl.
Hold on a second. Here, okay. Okay.
And our best evaluator was Musa. Come down, Musa.
Oh, they need a picture.
Oh, picture. Photo op.
Photo.
Great, thank you.